to have Lacey Juarez with Juarez, right? Did I say that right?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Awesome. With us to help us prepare for interviews. This is definitely interview season. I sent you all an email earlier today with some questions and everything, and just it's virtual, so but Lacey's here. We're so excited to have her here to walk us through the tips and tricks for interview prep. So, Lacey, I'll let you take it away.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for having me here today. I always get excited to be able to participate and be able to help where I can. So at Terex Corporation, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with us, but just kind of an overview. So we are a global manufacturer of heavy construction equipment. So cranes, aerial work platforms, basically anything that you could see out on a construction site. So that's just kind of who we are. And knowing that, I'm able to kind of help with different recruitment processes for positions. So constantly reaching out for engineering support, technical support, just a wide range of interviews and processes built in. So I'm hoping I can use my experiences is to help you prepare for your interviews. So this is a super simple PowerPoint. I hate having too much, so bear with me, just some easy talking points to go through. So how should you prepare? So the one thing that I really emphasize is knowing the company. Whether we're hiring for production associates or we're looking for, a director for a role, it is so important for you to know the company. Sorry about that. Here we go. Just trying to get ahead of me. What is the culture like? What about the values? I think it's so important for you to be able to know what that is to make sure it's going to fit with exactly what you want for your career and your future. Guys, I don't know why it keeps doing this. One second. We'll go ahead and I'll just leave it like this for now. So it is just so important to know, what you're getting into, and what is going to be the environment, what's the vision for the future. Know that they're there to support you, and prepare questions. All right, I'm going to stop this for 1 second. Let me fix my slides. So sorry. Okay, let's see if I got it here. All right, so all right. So preparing questions. So often at the end of the interview, you are opened up to different questions from the hiring team. And I can't even tell you how often I've had, whether it's students or professionals, say, I don't know, I really didn't think of any questions. That right there is going to be a huge red flag to the person who's, hiring for that position. If you're not willing to come up with questions, you're really not engaged in the position. So please make sure you're preparing questions. And if you do your work to make sure you understand the culture and the values, you're going to come up with some questions and things that are really important to you. So I cannot emphasize it enough. It's be prepared to engage at the end of the conversation. So preparing, practice questions throughout your day. So it's funny. I like to play this game with my team. If they're preparing for an interview or they know that there's a career move coming up that they want to apply for, I like to play practice questions. So just randomly throughout the day, just in passing, whether it's in a virtual chat room or it's in person, I like to ask questions. You know, hey, hey Talbot, can you tell me about a time when you made a mistake on the job? I like to have them think on their feet. And in the same, I like to do the same. I want to be able to know that I can have a quick response to a question, and that's going to help me prepare for interviews in the future. Also, practice your tone and pronunciations. Um, we all make mistakes. Just know how to rebound from them and know that your tone has to carry out the right way throughout your entire message. I know that there's times where I get so excited and so passionate about what I'm talking about that I forget that my tone has just increased significantly and I need to bring it back down. Uh, Try your system on a friend or family. So, you know, we're going through these changes and we're using these virtual platforms, and it doesn't always work. You're not always going to be 100%. A lot of the times I'll have backup plans. Like today, I was like, I don't know how Zoom is going to go on my computer, so I have my phone ready and I've got my earbuds ready to go in case that there was a fail. So what I'll do is beyond just that is I'll call up a family member or a friend maybe I don't talk to every day and just have a conversation virtually so I can be prepared. And that ties right into your facial expressions and your posture. I always kind of think it's funny. I can tell just in a conversation if someone's smiling throughout the conversation, just in the way that things are coming out, the message is being portrayed. So remember, even if a person can't actually see you, they can usually know whether you're smiling or how your facial expression might be tied to that. So keep that in mind. You know, it's okay to have fun, to enjoy it, um, but just practice it and get comfortable with it. Do you guys have any questions so far?
One of the things I'd like to add is as our students are going through various interviews, I know we are a very teams heavy organization at the university, and for class, you all use like Collaborate and everything. I would just say definitely test the system is huge. There's so many systems that, you know, when I get on meetings with an external group, it's like I end up having to download something, and I don't dial in that time. And so if you ever need anyone to test the system on, please reach out to me, reach out to my graduate assistant. We can definitely help you with that. But just be aware, some of them do make you download stuff, which I thought that was a thing of the past, but they make you download.
Definitely. So the another thing that I think is so important is get comfortable. Uh, get comfortable with your entire surroundings. Dress for success, whether it's in person or virtual. I'm sure I've been to your career fairs up there, and I can say right away the students take it serious on dressing professionally. So I think it's important that you do that even for your virtual career fairs. It definitely is something that stands out to employers. Our team is always kind of saying, hey, look, they had it together. That's a candidate that we're interested in. So kind of keep that in mind. Once again, test your system out. It's so important. And then removing distractions. A lot of the times there's so many things going on around you. I know working from home, we have dogs, and I am constantly having to take them, move them out, get them out because I can't have a distraction. That should go the same way for an interview. So just make sure your area is cleared and ready to go. And then know your resume and how it flows. A lot of times I'll get candidates that they know their resume, they know what they've done, but nothing is more, I guess, kind of a shock when a candidate says, oh, I can't remember if I put it here or there or which resume I have. Know what resume you have submitted to that job, and know it inside out. Know your dates, your order of the careers, and kind of what skills did you list. Nothing is worse than getting someone who says that they have intermediate Excel experience, but they've listed advanced. So make sure you know all of your skills on that resume inside and out. So some things that I think are so important to keep in mind, you feel the pressure of doing interviews and talking to this employer. This is your dream job or your next step, that you forget that sometimes you should really be focusing on your interviewing them as well. Making sure that there's benefits that fit well with your lifestyle, exactly what you need, and ask those questions. Have them, test us on what we offer to you. Also, I think it's so important to know what is the average tenure at the company for the position. I know not every position has the same tenure. Sometimes you see people move on from that career every 2 years. Some positions might hold team members for 40 years. I think it's important to know so you can kind of plan your career progression. And that moves right into, are they offering you what you want for your future? Do they have training built into their plans? Do you have a direct career path that you can follow? Are you moving from an engineer 1 to a 2? What's your next step as far as leadership? I think it is so critical for you to make sure that you're making the right decision. Um, Question the employer and make sure that you feel comfortable with what you're looking into. Other than that, like I said, I didn't have a whole lot that I really had to cover. I just really kind of want to open it up to questions and see what kind of things you guys are running into or how I might be able to help.
I have a couple of questions actually. The first one's a little silly, but I got my blazer, like I have a blazer set, but it doesn't fit me anymore since I got it like a really long time ago. Is it okay if I don't wear a blazer and I just wear like my formal black blouse with it? Like, will that still
Yeah,
look professional enough for them?
I absolutely believe so. Um, and it's not a silly question at all. I think that's a question I get quite often, especially when people are coming into interviews. What do I wear? I think knowing the employer and kind of the work environment you're getting into is really important. Um, so to me, what is your career path right now?
So, I'm majoring in accounting, so I've been applying for internships with like accounting firms and everything. And this Friday, I have, or I'm sorry, Thursday, I have an interview with an accounting firm. So I was
Okay.
planning, I could even show you if you want, but I just have like a formal black shirt that I was planning on wearing to it since it is, it's an accounting firm and everything, and it's an interview.
Yeah, absolutely. So I would say for our team, it would be perfectly fine. I think it's professional. I think as long as it's ironed, it looks nice, it would be professional. I know that if you were going to another company that maybe it's all it is an accounting firm, I would look at maybe having that blazer or sports jacket to go over it. So
Okay,
I think
yeah,
just
I definitely think
understand that.
I'll get a blazer here shortly, but I don't think I have time before Thursday to go
Lauren,
and get one.
you're on campus, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay, we have our career closet that has tons of blazers in it. If you want to stop by my office, I'm in the office tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, I'll definitely do that. Do you want me to like email you afterward or like
Yeah.
send a chat privately or something?
Yeah. Just go ahead and email me so I'll make sure the closet is unlocked and everything.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're
I didn't know we
welcome.
had that. Okay, so that's that. But then my other question was, like I went to the career fair last Thursday and there were a couple of them where they gave me like dates of the internship that weren't, provided on Handshake or whatnot beforehand. So I was like, oh, is it okay if I write these things down? Do you think
Mhm.
like in an interview, if they give me something more specific, is it kind of okay to take notes? Should I like say, is it okay if I write that down in my journal or whatnot, or should I just not do that at all?
I think it's great to be able to take notes during an interview. Honestly, it shows that the candidate is engaged, they want to, that you are really interested in continuing the conversation. So I would definitely suggest it. One thing that I have seen is just, bringing in a nice booklet, and just taking notes. And, I think it's important to show your preparation and your interest.
Okay, thank you so much. That helped a lot.
Yeah, definitely.
So, I wonder, do you have any examples of questions to ask in an interview, like related to a company specifically?
So as far as you asking a company questions,
Yes.
or okay. Yeah, one thing that I really like is, what why I like to ask this for the interviewers, what has made you choose to work for this company? I think it's so important to get direct feedback, and typically you can get an honest answer pretty quick because people have to think about it on their feet really really quickly. And so I think it's important to get someone's, direct testimony basically about how they feel about the company. Um, I'm trying to think as far as for me, I continuously would ask about benefits. I think understanding the perks of working for that company are important beyond just health, and your vision dental benefits. What is your tuition reimbursement if I want to continue my education? What kind of opportunities will there be for me to continue growth? Do you have any internal training plans? Um, I really think just kind of diving into what they're going to offer you to continue growing. Is there any specific questions that you think you'd want to be asking an employer?
But no, not right now.
Okay, yeah. Um, I kind of mentioned doing research on the company earlier. I recently had a candidate who did a lot of research on our company, which was very impressive. And, at first it did kind of take me back, but, he directly asked me. There's a negative review that I found online, and it makes me wonder about, what is the company culture like? So it's okay to ask those tough questions if you do it in a way that you're really curious. So I would really encourage you to do the research, and kind of that'll help you prepare questions as well. Anything else?
So Lacey, sometimes I hear of students when I do like a mock interview, um, a question may stump someone or they don't
Mhm.
have an example. How do you recommend kind of answering a question where you may not have a specific example, or it didn't apply to you? Like today, I had a student and I was like, tell me a time where you had a bad or a poor manager, how did you handle that? And he was like, I've never had one. So how would you recommend answering that question?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a great topic to bring up is you're going to get stumped. There's going to be questions you just can't pull together, but that's fine. It's how you rebound with it. And so I think those questions about, you know, specifically like you said, how have you dealt with a tough manager? Well, I haven't had a tough manager, but I did have a teacher or a professor that was very hard to deal with, and kind of taking a different experience with the same type of situation and answer it that way. So I think you have to get a little bit creative in how you respond. But if you hit a brick wall and you don't know where to go, it's okay to ask for an example, or can you expand on your question a little bit more. I'm not sure how I can fit my experience with it. So a lot of times the person who's interviewing you can help you to kind of see some different opportunities to talk about. So don't be afraid to ask for more clarification on the question.
I love that. Yeah, I never really thought about that, changing it to like a professor or a teacher. I love it.
Yeah, definitely. Get creative. And you know what? That's going to impress people immensely. One question that I was thinking about today was, I think that you probably, in every interview, I swear it does come up, is what mistake have you made on the job? And every time I have heard that question, it would make me cringe. But it took a little while to realize it's not about the mistake that you made on the job, but more so how did you fix it and prevent it in the future. So I know one thing that our team really is big on is accepting mistakes. It's going to happen, whether it's, in school, at work, in life. Recognize the mistake and how you resolved it and what you did to fix it for the future. So when you hit those really difficult questions like that, I really encourage you to just expand on it. How did you become better? So it's just, I kind of wanted to highlight that today because I think it's so important, is don't use it as something that just brings you down. Think about how it made you better. You guys have anything else you can think of? Virtual events can be a little difficult not being able to engage with you guys. I'm sorry.
Have you found, Lacey, in this virtual event or this virtual environment for interviews, are they running shorter, longer? Are they like quicker, a little, do they drag out more? Kind of, is there like, what's one of the main differences between virtual and in person with the interviewing?
Yeah, so the virtual, I really have enjoyed it because it just seems like it's a one-on-one experience. You get to actually dive into conversations. So I've seen about 7 minutes as an average, especially with the career fairs, and I really enjoy that, but there are times when it's just too short. So I have found that a lot of those candidates that I've been able to engage with, we've reached, connected beyond that, and I've actually done a couple shop tours and showed off our facility and kind of continued that education. And I think it's important, don't be afraid to reach out to those employers you're really interested in and ask for, hey, can we continue this? Or, hey, can you show me a little bit more about um, your environment, your working environment?
Very nice.
Yeah.
All righty, y'all, what other questions do you have?
Have you guys had can you tell me a little bit about your experience so far virtually? Has it been good or bad? To be improved on?
So far it has been pretty good. All I've done so far is just the career fair, but those like interviews, I guess, they went really well. And I think like even though we only had 10 minutes to talk at the ones that I went to, that was the time slot that was allotted to us. And I felt like with a few of them, I could have, kept talking to them for a little bit longer. So that was pretty good.
That's awesome. 10 minutes is pretty quick to go by too. Did you find yourself becoming more comfortable being in front of the camera and or did it take a little while?
Yeah, I don't really mind doing them on Zoom. I kind of like it. But then I guess I don't really know the difference because this is my first year, like applying to internships and such. So I don't really know what it's like in person, but I am fine with Zoom things. And I'm in a sorority as well, so we've had a lot of other practice which with things like this because we had virtual recruitment and everything. So I've done a lot of stuff on Zoom, and I feel pretty prepared for things like this. So yeah.
Good, good. Anyone else have an experience you want to share?
I've just been attending these employer showcases like these. Just like I'm a freshman, so I'm not really like applying to internships right now, but like getting the information to prepare, I feel like it's very helpful.
I think that's awesome, getting prepared. I mean, that's the biggest part, is you're already getting ahead of the game right here.
Hopefully.
So far, I mean, what kind of things have you learned that have you been able to kind of have to think on your feet about things? And
Not much. I've just been like taking notes, just know what to expect from an interview. Like the
yeah,
asking questions part is something I didn't really know like was such a big deal. I know now the second employer that's like mentioned like we want to hear questions from our interviewees, so it's something I know to prepare for now.
definitely. Good, good.
Alrighty, any more questions? Alrighty, Lacey, this has been really great information. Thank you so much for taking time out of your evening to to help us with this. As I know, Lauren, you have interview, what'd you say, Thursday? Awesome. So, and Adam and Ian, I know are freshmen, and Lewis, good to see you, Lewis, to help get prepared. So I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. And I just want to say, if anyone ever has any questions or any way that I can help, please don't hesitate to reach out. I may not be hiring for what you're applying for, but I would love to help kind of get you prepared if I can.
Thank you. We appreciate that. I love it. I love the help. I love it. So thank you all so much for attending. If you need to reference this, I'll post this on the Business Career Center's YouTube channel. I'm going to try to do that tonight. No promises, but definitely, Lauren, before Thursday for you. Okay. So be on the lookout for that. And so everyone have a safe, great evening. Don't study too hard unless it's for an interview. Okay. All right. So take care. Thank you again, Lacey.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.